No.
So, alhamdulillah, nobody listened to the video from last week. Khalas? Or 2 weeks ago, or wherever it was. What did you learn that we talked about 2 weeks ago? Which prophet did we talk about? Let's go start like that. Yes. La. Adel was before that. Sheath and somebody else. And Idris. We talked about Sheath and Idris. And we talked about a very important component at the end that leads to today's prophet. What did we talk about?
Music?
Well, no, we talked about music, so that's not it. What else? Yeah? The snowball effect. Right? Snowball effect related to what? Statues. Idol worshiping. Anybody tell me how it started?
Started out, they were like, we're gonna put stones where we remember our people. And then they were just progressively kept going on and on. Like, hey, I don't remember how he looked like, let me put him a statue. And then, oh hey, he made some really great things, let me worship him.
Yep. And at the end, it was not actually worshiping. Oh, the battery died. Kick the bucket. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, if you're like,
it was not about worshiping the idols themselves. They looked to idols as an avenue to worship Allah because they were pious. What were they? Weren't they pious people? And Shaitan told them what? Just to remember them. Just to remember how they looked like. Just to remember what they did. But the problem is the snowball effect. Generation after generation, they forgot what it is. Why these were there? What did these people do? It's narrated that between Adam alayhi salam and Noah, it's close to 10 centuries that they worshiped Allah. They were people that doing bad deeds, things were happening, but at the same time, there was no idol worshiping until this group of people started worshiping Wad wa Suwa wa Yaghouth wa Ya'uq wa Nasra. There was one person that was not worshiping these idols. And that is today's topic, Sayyidina Nuh. Now before we start, I want you to tell me what you know about Sayyidina Nuh.
Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark. What else? Yep.
He didn't have many followers.
He did not have many followers. Anybody else? Ayman. Anything about Noah?
That he had to bring a pair of each animal on his
He took pairs of animals with him, yes.
his son.
His son was not one of the believers, yes.
He stopped his message even though he didn't get permission to stop.
He stopped his message, that's Sayyidina Yunus.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's okay. What else? Yeah? No?
his wife didn't believe him.
His wife didn't believe in him. Anybody else? So alhamdulillah, Prophet Nuh is one of the very famous prophets. They have songs for little kids about him. There's so many information about him. So we're going to try to address not the information that's commonly known, but in general, what Prophet Nuh did. But this time, unlike the last times, I'm going to use the Quran as the guide and get the ayat specifically and go through it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إنا أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أرسل نوح إلى قومه. Before, the message was delivered from one son to the other, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called on Sayyidina Nuh, and he became a messenger to deliver this message. And أنذر قومك. You were going to warn your people من قبل أن يأتيهم عذاب أليم, before they get punishment. And then this is the process of starting the da'wah with Sayyidina Nuh. He started delivering the message to his people. And subhanAllah, this is a common theme with all prophets. When they have a message to deliver, what do? They ask people to think. Use your brain. Look around. We'll do that inshallah when we do Sayyidina Ibrahim. It's a common theme that's recurring with every single prophet. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا. Why aren't you giving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala His position? And He created you in phases. ألم تروا كيف خلق سبع سماوات طباقا? Have you not seen that He's created the heavens, samawat? وجعل القمر فيهن نورا. And this ayah is beautiful. You read it normally. وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ فِيهِنَّ نُورًا وَجَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ سِرَاجًا. This is at the time of me. Which prophet? Wakey. Noah. What does he say in the ayah? وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ what? نُورًا. Right? Is there a difference between a nur and a siraj? طبعا you don't know Arabic. The difference is, nur does not emit light itself. It reflects light. And what does Sayyidina Nuh say? Al-Qamar is what? Nur. It reflects light. We know now that it does not emit light. وَالشَّمْسِ سِرَاجًا. The sun emits light. That goes back to every time, remember when we talk about the Quran and the beauty of the Quran? Very subtle words. Makes it clear what the miracle of the Quran is. وَاللَّهُ أَنْبَتَكُم مِّنَ الْأَرْضِ نَبَاتًا ثُمَّ يُعِيدُكُم فِيهَا وَيُخْرِجُكُم إِخْرَاجًا. All He's doing is not telling them, go worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is He telling them? Look around you. Look around you. Look at the creation around you. Look at what's happening around you. That's how He's trying to have the dialogue and the conversation with you. He kept doing this and doing it and talking to His people. It was a lengthy process with Sayyidina Nuh. To the extent that he said this, قَالَ رَبِّي إِنِّي دَعَوْتُ قَوْمِي لَيْلًا وَنَهَارًا. Oh Allah, I have called on my people. What's layl? Night. And what's nahar? Day. So He called on His people night and day. 24/7 pretty much. فَلَمْ يَزِدْهُمْ دُعَائِي إِلَّا فِرَارًا. When I keep calling on them, they kept running away. They don't want to listen. وَإِنِّي كُلَّمَا دَعَوْتُهُمْ لِتَغْفِرَ لَهُمْ. Every time I ask them and ask for you to forgive them, and this scares me, and I'm going to tell you why this scares me now. لِتَغْفِرَ لَهُمْ جَعَلُوا أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ. They had their fingers. All to close your ears, what do? Just like this, right? The tashbih of Quran, the Quran says, جَعَلُوا أَصَابِعَهُم. They put all their fingers in their ears. And what did they do? وَاسْتَغْشَوْا ثِيَابَهُمْ. They covered themselves. وَأَصَرُّوا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا اسْتِكْبَارًا. You know why this part freaks me out and scares me? How many times do you see people giving you da'wah or talking about something, and all they do, they bring in their headphones and plug their ears? Why? I don't want to listen. Especially parents that have teenagers. My dad is talking outside. I'm not listening. This is scary. It's in the Quran. So we gotta be very watchful how we do these things. ثُمَّ إِنِّي دَعَوْتُهُمْ جِهَارًا. Then I called upon them openly, everywhere, anytime, every time. So night and day, jihara, out loud. ثُمَّ إِنِّي أَعْلَنْتُ لَهُمْ وَأَسْرَرْتُ لَهُمْ إِسْرَارًا. And then I took them aside and I spoke to them individually. As they say, He left no stone unturned. He did everything He can. Don't you think? Is there anything else you think He could have done? He's done everything. And He told Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I did everything. And subhanAllah, He's telling them what? One of the things that He's telling them, and this is something I want you to remember today. If you don't get anything out of today, is listen to the next ayah. فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ. I said what? Make what? Istighfar. Now, Yusuf, when you make istighfar, what happens?
I don't know, when I make istighfar, I just kind of hope for the best and that Allah forgives me. But
Hope for the best and Allah forgives me. I don't know what happens, but I hope for the best and hope for Allah to forgive me. Anybody else, when you make istighfar, what happens? Yum. You know how it is. If you don't raise your hand or say something, I'll call on you. So, if you make istighfar, what happens? Why do you make istighfar? Let's just put it a different way. Why do you make istighfar? To take away your sayyat. Right? This is what we associate it with. You make istighfar for what? You did something wrong, so you make istighfar. What did Sayyidina Nuh say? فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. I asked you to make istighfar because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ghaffar. Right? And you do istighfar to do what? When you do a sin, you make istighfar. Right? يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. Allah will shower you with blessings. You just made istighfar. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will shower you with blessings. Not only that, وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ, and He will give you بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارٍ. From making istighfar. So do you have to say istighfar just when you make a sin? No. You want to have money? Yeah? We all do. Make istighfar. You want to get married? Make istighfar. You want to have kids? Make istighfar. SubhanAllah. If you learn nothing today, and just remember this, every time you make istighfar, these things will happen. Now, is it going to happen on our time? It doesn't matter. You do your part. That's what we're going to go through today. You do your part. Leave the rest on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. So right now, say istighfar. Thank you. That's an action. You're supposed to say something. Say istighfar. Astaghfirullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Astaghfirullah al-azim wa kullu dhanbin azim wa atubu ilayh. Make istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can clear us up. So subhanallah, how many of you know how much time Sayyidina Nuh spent with his people? 950 years. 950 years making da'wah. Not just spent 950 years. 950 years making da'wah, and they're not listening to him. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَى قَوْمِهِ فَلَبِثَ فِيهِمْ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ إِلَّا 50 عَامًا. He spent with them 1,000 years, with an exception of 50 years. The difference is, in Arabic, linguistically, there's a difference between sana and am. Sana is mentioned for stuff that's tough. Am is something good. So it could be said that out of the 1,000 years, 50 were good years and the rest were tough on him. That's pretty much it. So subhanAllah. All this has happened to Sayyidina Nuh, and he kept calling his people. In any society, you've got the wealthy, you've got the poor, you've got different groups, right? Even at the time of the prophets, that was the same thing. فَقَالَ الْمَلَأ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ قَوْمِهِ. Al-Mala is the عِلْيَةُ الْقَوْم. It's that kind of like the wealthiest of the wealthy at that time. They started from among the ways that they were making fun of Sayyidina Nuh. مَا نَرَاكَ إِلَّا بَشَرًا مِثْلَنَا وَمَا نَرَاكَ اتَّبَعَكَ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ هُمْ أَرَادِلُنَا. One of the things that happened to a lot of the prophets, who were the first people that believed in the prophets?
The poor people. Right?
The poor people. It's a common theme. Remember the thing, Waraq ibn Nawfal, what did he tell the Prophet ﷺ? As soon as he told them that you're going to be the prophet, I'm waiting until you're being kicked out, because their people usually kick them out. That's what ended up happening. So in Malak, they decided, you know what? We'll start listening to you. Under one condition. You got to kick out the poor. Remember when we did Seerah of the Prophet ﷺ? What did Quraysh tell the Prophet? What did they tell him? You got the poor people following you. Kick them out, and then we'll be fine. And we'll follow you. We don't want to be associated with them. What does that go back to?
Racism.
Arrogance.
Arrogance. They're the same race. It's arrogance. Shaitan. Back to square one. I'm better than you. I'm not going to sit on the same table as these people. So that's how they looked at it. Time of Nuh, time of Sayyidina Muhammad. This is a common theme. Why is it a common theme? Why is it mentioned in the Quran? Because it happens today. It's the human race. People do these things. Regardless of the time, these things happen over and over again. Sayyidina Nuh responded to them. وَيَا قَوْمْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ مَالًا إِنْ أَجْرِي إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ. I don't want anything from you. And my reward is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I cannot kick these people out. Their ajr is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not going to come near them. And if this is the bargain that you're trying to give and take, I'm not part of this. It's on you. One of the things that Noor mentioned today was the things that happened to Sayyidina Noor is his wife. Now for those of you not married, don't know this part yet, but you'll know it one day inshallah Rabbil Alameen. The worst fight you're going to have is with your spouse. That's the thing. SubhanAllah. The hardest thing on a person, on a man, is you go about your life, you're going to have struggles in life. But the worst thing to happen is when you go back home and you struggle with your wife. Sayyidina Nuh, his wife used to make fun of him. One of his wives used to make fun of him. Used to call him a liar. Used to tell on him. And if someone believed in him, she would go tell on that person. She was non-stop. Again, yes?
So what did
He stayed with her for reasons that I don't know. It's a test. Sometimes you don't have a choice. So subhanAllah, this was one of the hardest tests on Sayyidina Nuh. That he had to deal with this day in and day out. What's happening outside and what's happening inside. Now, this is when it became clear to Sayyidina Nuh, and there's another incident after that, but it was clear to him that the time is very near that there's nothing I can do. وَأُوحِيَ إِلَى نُوحٍ أَنَّهُ لَنْ يُؤْمِن مِّن قَوْمَكَ إِلَّا مَنْ قَدْ آمَنَ. That's it. Oh Nuh, nobody else is going to believe with you. Done. You're capped out. فَلَا تَبْتَئِسْ. Don't get upset. See, the Prophet gets upset because people are not following the da'wah. So he got upset. فَلَا تَبْتَئِسْ. وَاصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا وَوَحْيِنَا. That's the fun part that everybody's waiting for. Build the ship. Start building the ship. بِأَعْيُنِنَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to guide him. وَوَحْيِنَا. He's going to show him what to do. There's different narrations of how the process happened. But interesting part is, Sayyidina Nuh was not a carpenter. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, "Khalas, nobody's going to believe in you, start building this." The different narration is that he will go build a tree, plant a tree, cut it, go and put it into where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him to build this ark where? By the sea?
No, desert.
On a mountain. Start building it. And it became like a jigsaw puzzle. He cuts it, puts a piece, cuts it, puts a piece. What happens during that process? If you're building a ship nowhere near water, the people will think you're crazy. What would he do? Continue about his day. Keep going. Keep building. Then they're making fun of him. They keep going. So he kept building and building the ship. It's narrated that the ship was 3 stories, and it was not actually a ship. It was more like a submarine, because when the rain comes, where does it come from? Top and bottom. It was coming from everywhere. So it was all closed up. 3 levels, animals, humans, and then the remaining was on the 3rd level. So he started building the ship, and people were starting making fun of him. His wife was making fun of him. Everybody was making fun of him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, I'm going to give you a sign. And that sign, yes?
So it was all closed, it wasn't just like one flat?
No, it was levels. It was different levels, and then it was closed up.
Oh.
Because the rain is coming from top, right? And if it's open from the top, what's going to happen? It becomes a bucket. So it's going to keep holding water. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, I'm going to give you a sign. When this sign happens, you need to follow the steps. حتى إذا جاء أمرنا وفار التنور. Tanur is where they used to do bread. It's kind of like a floor oven kind of thing in the ground. Water is going to start gushing out of it. When this starts happening, go and get what did you say?
The ark?
Again, what did he put in the ark?
The animals?
The animals. Go and get doubles, male and female of everything. Yeah.
Is there some sort of time period, like a range where you can tell me when this happened?
I don't know the time frame, but I know they found the ark. They found the placement of it, because it's written in the Quran where it is exactly. Wastawat ala judi, where it landed. But I don't know what the time frame of it is.
Okay.
So he started putting the animals in and started closing things up. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him that you're going to have your family and whoever has believed with you in there, along with these animals. Now there was an incident, and it's I don't know if it's I can't remember when exactly it happened, but
With his son.
no, before that. I can't track it. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. What happened was, when he was building the ark, he would go and do what he used to do, and the people from his time would go and make fun of him, right? And it became, generation after generation, became worse and worse and worse, until it's narrated that there was a child with his grandfather, and his grandfather told him, see this man? That's a liar, don't believe in him, this is what he's saying, don't listen to him. And the child asked him, why haven't you done anything about him? And the grandfather said, well, he's been here, nobody has done anything to him. So let me down, let me go do something. What does he do? He goes and hurts Sayyidina Nuh. At that point, Sayyidina Nuh realized that there's no hope. It's done. And that's where it's narrated that فَدَعَ رَبَّهُ إِنِّي مَغْلُوبٌ فَانْتَصِرْ. Yeah.
The grandfather or
The boy. Because generation after generation, they keep pointing to Sayyidina Nuh. It got to a point where it became a disaster.
Alright, if that boy never heard like the actual message from Sayyidina Nuh, how can he really?
He's a kid.
Yeah,
It's his parents.
I mean, like, how can he judge what?
It's his
I know
parents.
his parents. Yeah, they influence his decision.
Yeah.
But does that change how he ends up with like?
He's a kid. He doesn't
He's a
have
kid, doesn't get anywhere
He
after.
doesn't have real judgment.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. But the action is, for a kid to do something like this, it became clear that if this kid at this age is doing this, what's going to happen when he grows up? Pretty much. That's kind of the logic behind it. You're done. So subhanAllah, this قَالَ إِنِّي مَغْلُوبٌ فَانْتَصِرْ. What does Allah say after that in the ayah? فَفَتَحْنَا أَبْوَابَ السَّمَاءِ بِمَاءٍ مُنْهَمِرٍ. Water was coming from top and bottom. It was coming from everywhere. To the extent that, according to the narrations, the waters were higher than the mountain. And when it was higher than the mountain, where was the ship built? On a mountain, and that's when it started to flow. It's narrated that it took some time in the sea, and I found an answer because when I did this for the little kids a long time ago. What happened to the fish? The fish survived. But everything else perished. And the story about his son was covering up his disbelief in Sayyidina Nuh. And when it came the incident, he told him, I'm going to go to this mountain and protect myself. So what Sayyidina Nuh told him, La asim al-yawm, today nothing is going to protect you. You have to come with me, or that's it. The kid said, no, I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'll go to the mountain. And the beauty of the Quran is, as a parent, the hardest thing on a parent is to see your child hurt. And what does the Quran say? The waves came in between them, so he doesn't see what happens to him. And his son dies. And everybody else dies, except Nuh and the people with him and the animals that were there. It's narrated that they stayed about 6 months, plus or minus, however the period is, in the sea. And
The whale.
they what?
The whale.
No,
that's
different story.
I think it's in
You keep going back to that story. we'll get to that one inshallah. But according to the narrations, I want you to guess how many people do you think believed in Sayyidina Nuh? Yeah.
Like 20,
20.
wasn't it?
The narrations is 10 to 8. After 950 years of giving da'wah, 10 to 80 people believed him. And these were the people with him on the ship. Yeah?
Do the people know he's a prophet?
Yeah, they do. So the 10 to 80 people that were left, what he did do is they would go up and let a pigeon go in the morning and wait until it comes back after the rain has stopped. And the pigeon comes back, nothing has changed, same, until one day the pigeon came back with olive branch. What's the sign of peace now? A pigeon and an olive branch. That now the water has subsided and trees are showing up. They picked up the pigeon and started doing it again until the pigeon came back with mud on the feet. That now subsided. And now there's actual land. At that point, Sayyidina Nuh got to a point when in the Quran it's narrated, it said that وَاسْتَوَتْ عَلَى الْجُودِ. So where it is, it's called Mount Judi. I think it's between Turkey and Iraq, somewhere within that area. And that's where it landed. And then they came out. These were the only people on earth at that time. Now, another name for Sayyidina Nuh is what?
No.
Adam al-Thani.
Oh, for like that time?
Adam al-Thani. What's Sayyidina Adam?
Oh, the first.
First human. And from Sayyidina Adam, what happened? Everybody. Nuh is Adam al-Thani. Why? Not just the oldest. Everybody that was there with him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not allow them to have children. They were not able to conceive and have children. Only Sayyidina Nuh and his other wife, not the back one, his other wife, were able to conceive children. And he becomes Adam. And that's how they have generations after that. And it's in the Quran, you'll see verses, I'm not going to have time to go through them, but you go back to lineage Adam. The last part I want to talk about after this is that Sayyidina Nuh had 3 children. Ham, he is the forefather of African people. Dark skin, looks darker complexion. Sam, Asl al-Arab and Bani Israel. Yafith, and he's the forefather of Europeans and some of the Asians. So these are the 3 that started everything else. And from them, each dispersed and went everywhere. Just like any prophet, he went and relayed the message. And on and on and on to continue the following journey. That's Sayyidina Nuh. I think we're wrapped up in time. Yes.
Did anything special happen while he was dying?
Did anything special while he was dying? He called his sons, and the main thing he said is, I want you to remember one thing. Actually, it was a number of things. The main thing, La ilaha illallah. It weighs more than anything. The heavens and the earth and the mountains and everything. So, La ilaha illallah. And I think the other one was, do not commit shirk and kibr. This was his kind of wasiyah to his children. Okay? Next time, inshallah, I'm going to start combining different prophets together, but Sayyidina Nuh, because it was longer, I had to go through the whole thing. Any questions, comments, or concerns? You have them. After? Okay. Anybody else, inshallah? Huh?
What did they find in the boat?
I don't know, but recently there is research about the boat. Everybody's looking for the boat. Ark of Noah, Sayyidina Nuh. I saw on the History Channel a long time ago, there was a part that showed the dimensions and the size of the boat and have that imprint of the boat on the mountain. So I'm sure you can. I was going to try to, but I didn't get a chance to. خير إن شاء الله. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك اللهم وأتوب إليك. Thank you so much, and we'll continue next time. Assalamu alaikum.